the DIN connector on our new forklift directional control valve lights up and forward. And actually, we'll put it down here and we'll see. You put it in reverse, you can see the other side lights up. And those solenoids are also reversible. So if we ever needed to troubleshoot, we left the pigtails going to the valve. We left these extra long. This is just some cab tire, and we spliced into our original wiring here. We didn't go too fancy because this wire needs to be upgraded at some point anyway. And this valve here on the reverse side, we have it rotated on an angle for clearance to this pipe. This valve, luckily, it could be a lot longer. The original had only one solenoid, and this moves the spool back and forth, but it only has one manual override. Now the new valve has manual overrides for both forward and reverse. This one you can only manually override and get forward by pushing this detent in here. So luckily we discovered it's a DO3 base, which is very common with hydraulics, and it's easy to get 12 volt solenoids, 110 volt, 24 volt, whatever you might need. And the lights are another major improvement, because one of the things that might have happened with this is that one of these solenoids in this large solenoid could have gone bad, was drawing extra amperage and caused some arcing in the switch. On our Instagram, we put a post of the switch going through that. So we cleaned up that contact with some 600 grit sandpaper, cleaned it up with some isopropyl alcohol afterwards with a piece of paper that was wet with alcohol. It's not the best. Really, some people have said never clean up contacts because there's a special coating. But if they're already arced and you're just trying to get consistent contact back, then it's worth thinning them down, giving it a shot. Because this, from Toyota, is a $400 part. This valve, I think they quoted over $1,200 from Toyota. Obviously, there's aftermarket for forklift parts. And luckily, being able to tap into industrial aftermarket for a valve like this, an offshore valve, is anywhere from $130 to $300. And while it's not the ideal thing, this one is Rexroth Bosch compatible. So it's easy to buy those off-the-shelf solenoids, or to look that up as a keyword search and say, we need something that fits Rexroth, and choose from aftermarket options that work for that. Those are a lot of the main things with this. It was a nice, easy repair once we got our head wrapped around the wiring diagram. It was a little tricky because Toyota uses the code L for blue wires. And there was also, if you look at, I just drew out the schematic here. I don't have it. Well, it's on the laptop. I don't have it pulled up, but it looked like a tandem center because where that P is there and that center condition, it looked like a tandem center where the pressure is blocked, where this is in fact a open center. So that's what this valve is. And a hydraulic supply shop said, oh, that could be a pilot. We did look, took the valve apart, looked to see if there's a pilot. Didn't seem to be. So for whatever reason, they used an odd schematic where it was an open center, but it had a cross on that pressure port as if it was a tandem center. So that threw things off, because it's really easy to get an open center valve at a lot of places that only carry a couple select valves. So that was one thing that threw us off when we were putting this thing together. And what else is on the list here? So 2 solenoids versus 1. It makes it easy to flip those solenoids around. If one should ever fail, it's easy to test the other one. The DIN connectors, we have them both index pointing this way. So these caps can go on with turning that connector inside, but the connector inside needs to be indexed correctly for the 3-pin plug on the bottom. So just so you can do that if you ever need to. It was helpful because I wasn't sure. I'd never really played around with these too much in the past. And maybe they're not all the same from one DIN connector to another. So that was really helpful. Oh yeah, and use this rubberized 3M tape. It's actually kind of a 2-piece. You peel the backing off. That's actually the backing there. And there's this rubber inside. You need to start wrapping it around and it sticks to itself. But I feel like on the whole, this will be nicer in the long term than vinyl electrical tape, which the adhesive always seems to leak out. It's dry, it's hard, it's not very pliable. And this is 600 volt rated. And a lot of times putting big terminals on large wire, adapting some aluminum wire to some lugs that were rated for copper, and use this to cover over the junctions. So handy stuff to have in your back pocket. It's nice to have a roll of that in the toolbox. Trying to think what else we're going to talk about here. I think that covers what we did. It worked out well. It's nice just to have that visual control with those lights on the tin connector. You can see when we turn the ignition off, obviously that'll shut off. And yeah, I feel like this is a successful project. Just gonna button things up now. And the other thing, we were blowing some fuses before because of the resistance of one of these coils, so we're not blowing any more fuses. They're 7.5 amp fuse, so they're not the most common. But the other thing is knowing where there's lots of scrap cars to get those mini fuses or maxi fuses and stocking up on those. So we ran out of 7.5 amp fuses by the time we got this done, but got enough to keep going for now. And with that, we'll let you keep carrying on. Love to have you comment below on what you thought of the video, because we're trying to improve. And yeah, like and subscribe if you want to see more content, and catch you in the next video.